Right now at 5, authorities in one Missouri town respond to a crash into a restaurant.
Damn, we've got a slightly warmer day, little above average out there for us, but still dealing with clear skies. A look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, a Commerce Elementary School honors a 10-year-old student with a special memorial bench.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Samantha Walker.
I'm Chris Warner. It's Wednesday, October the 22nd. And
Yes.
boy, I tell you what, man, these temperature changes, we talked about yesterday. I know, they're just messing with everybody. And
Yeah, I have Kleenexes hidden, locked and loaded to make it through this morning.
Me this morning, man. I'm telling you. So I assure you, I don't drink. It's not my thing, and that's not the case this morning. But man, I am drained. It sucks. I hate the weather change. Like, I love that we've got the fall weather, but it just, there was that switch. It went from hot to cold like that, and so it's just
our bodies are just trying to keep up and understand what's happened.
It just messes with everything, man. I tell you. But the good news is it'll be a little warmer today, and it won't be nearly as windy. It's been pretty breezy the last couple of days. Our winds are finally giving us a bit of a break. Let's start though with a live look from downtown Pittsburgh, where things are looking clear. Skies are clear, and we are a bit chilly, but in most cases seasonably so. We do have some locations pretty cold out there. Our camera 7th and range line is just a smidge out of focus there, isn't it? Well, that's all right. They have a little button here that should take care of that problem for us. There we go. It looks a little better. And the Modi camera 20th in range line in Joplin looking pretty good as well on this Wednesday morning, halfway through this work week, and we're going to make it. We're going to make it together. Future track again, much like yesterday. We've got really nothing on there. The only change is we have westerly winds, and they won't be gusting upwards of 30 or some odd miles an hour. We're talking just a nice southwest breeze, 5 to 10. But it's that south and westerly breeze that's bringing in some of that warmer air for us. Our temperatures, though, this morning, not warm. No, not in the slightest. Look at this. We've got a few more upper 30s than what even I was expecting. Look at all of these upper 30-degree readings. Neodache Parsons, again, the cold spots out there, 36 apiece. We do have some low 40s, and we've even got Cassville a little warmer. In fact, I think Cassville here, looking at the map, is the warm spot at 45. So you're the closest to normal. You should still be in the upper 40s for our lows. So we are below average across the region, which, again, is a nice change. But boy, it's like a switch went from summer to winter about like that. And I know it's not winter temperatures, but you get the idea. All right, kids heading out the door, probably want that jacket. Low 40s, maybe some upper 30s, clear skies, 67 for lunch and recess, 73 as they head home. So that jacket needs to be one maybe they can easily put in their backpack because they won't need it later today. Take a look at that. Upper 40s by 9, upper 60s by noon, eventually in the low to mid 70s today with that west breeze at 5 to 10. Now we still have our rain chances tomorrow, and some things have changed favorably, at least in terms of thunderstorm chances. We're going to go over those details with you here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. Free home improvements help Missouri families save on heating bills. As temperatures begin to drop, the Joplin-based Economic Security Corporation Weatherization Department continues to assist low-income families in reducing their energy costs. Eligible households throughout Southwest Missouri can request work to be done on their homes, which can include door and window replacement as well as installment.
We try to make people more comfortable in their homes. We try to seal up their homes to save them money so they're able to afford more food or medication rather than having to spend it on utility bills.
The services are currently in high demand with about 200 on the waiting list. The organization still encourages those interested to submit an application on their website. A Commerce Elementary School honors a 10-year-old student who died in an ATV accident in April. The family dedicated a memorial bench outside the school in honor of Easton Freeman. The bench showcases some of Easton's favorite things, including fishing and also his love of Thomas the Tank Engine.
I knew Easton was a special kid, but I didn't know how much he was loved until after this incident and things that this community has done, the money that's raised for the family, the love that they've shown the family. This is just It's outstanding.
Attendees were encouraged to wear camouflage as a tribute to Easton's love of fishing and hunting. Now, you can stay up to date with the latest news, weather, and sports with the KOM Plus TV streaming app. It's available on Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, Apple TV Plus, and Roku. The player is also available on our news and weather apps, as well as our website. Watch live streaming anytime, absolutely free. That's the KOM Plus TV streaming app. It may sound like Halloween fun, but unfortunately, it's the name of a new scam. Previously, debit and credit card scams required physical contact, but ghost tapping gets rid of that. This new scam takes advantage of tap-to-pay credit cards and mobile wallets, according to the Better Business Bureau. While the payment methods for tap-to-pay are generally safe, scammers can exploit it in crowded spaces or distracting situations. Once a scammer has your information, they may only make small transactions to avoid you noticing right away.
For example, some scammers that are utilizing this tapping scam will set up as a fake vendor and then try to talk you into a small purchase. You may think you spent $10 and then find out on the back end they charged not only the $10 but additional amounts of money or even larger than the $10 amount.
Here's how to protect yourself from ghost tapping. When at any event like flea markets or festivals, make sure you always see the business name and transaction amount before tapping your card. Then, after any big gatherings, keep an eye on your bank account for suspicious charges. Also consider using wallets or sleeves for your credit cards with radio frequency identification or RFID protection. It can help stop wireless skimming. A major security scare at the world's busiest airport in Atlanta, where police say they stopped a likely attacker. Authorities say the suspect, Billy Gaggle, was checking out TSA security when he was stopped and arrested. Police found a semi-automatic rifle with dozens of rounds in his truck. Police were canvassing for Gaggle after his family called 911 less than 30 minutes earlier. Authorities respond to a fatal crash in Carthage yesterday afternoon. The crash happened just before 3 on Oak and McGregor Streets. Authorities say 3 vehicles were involved. 1 passenger was airlifted from the parking lot of Memorial Hall. Last night, police confirmed the crash was fatal. 1 driver has been detained on suspicion of DWI. This is a developing story. You can find more information on our website. That's KOMNewsNow.com as it becomes available. Authorities released information regarding an early Monday morning crash into a restaurant. Reports say a semi-truck slammed into a Burger King in St. Robert, Missouri. Authorities report no injuries to staff or the semi-driver, but caution the public to stay away from the area for safety's sake. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Vice President Vance says the Gaza ceasefire is going better than expected, but can't guarantee it will last. Plus, breakthrough research reveals a major decline in childhood peanut allergies. And cooler temperatures across the 4 states with the weekend tracking storms. Chris has a look at your forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Topping World Watch. Hamas says it's recovered remains of 2 more hostages and is turning them over to Israel. If confirmed, that would bring the number returned so far to 15. Hamas has pledged to send the bodies of all 28 deceased hostages back to Israel as part of the peace deal. Vice President J.D. Vance in Israel yesterday urged patience as the ceasefire, which began 11 days ago, continues to hold. Holly Williams reports from Tel Aviv.
Things are going, frankly, better than I expected that they were.
Tonight in Israel, the Vice President said he was optimistic the fragile ceasefire will not collapse.
What do you think the likelihood is that it will last long term? If you had to put a number on it, a percentage.
Can I say with 100% certainty that it's going to work? No. But you don't do difficult things by only doing what's 100% certain.
Yet just 2 days ago, Israel briefly resumed its lethal strikes on Gaza. Israel said it was responding after Hamas militants killed 2 of its soldiers. President Trump warned on social media today that if Hamas violates the ceasefire deal, the reaction will be fast, furious and brutal. Hamas says it's still committed to the truce, and tonight it returned the bodies of 2 more hostages. But many are not convinced that the group, which is designated a terrorist organisation by the US, will hand over its weapons. And some Israelis are skeptical that their own leader, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, really wants peace.
This is an agreement that he signed under duress.
Alon Pincus was an advisor to 4 Israeli foreign ministers. He's also a fierce critic of Netanyahu.
He knows that if everything stops now and there is progress into the next phases, that almost inevitably means that he will be deemed as the guy who failed to defeat Hamas.
Vice President Vance's press conference was held in the newly opened Civilian Military Cooperation Center in southern Israel, which will monitor the progress of those next phases of the peace plan. It's staffed by around 200 American troops. Holly Williams, CBS News, Tel Aviv, Israel.
That's our top story in today's World Watch. Still to come, Jamie Lee Curtis stars as a governor juggling politics and family in the new comedy Ella McKay. Plus, cooler temperatures with rain chances heading into the weekend. Chris has a look at the forecast. From stage to auction block, iconic pieces of music history are up for grabs, and Ethan Hawke is back on the big screen. Gwen Baumgarten has your Eye on Entertainment report.
Comedy, politics, and family collide in the new movie Ella McKay.
I'd like to acknowledge past actions for which I am ashamed. This is great we're doing this.
The film about an idealistic woman who becomes governor, juggling family and work life. It stars Jamie Lee Curtis, Emma Mackey, and Woody Harrelson.
Any last minute advice?
Ella McKay heads to theaters December 12th. Music fans are ready to spend big ahead of a massive 2-day auction in London. Just some of the iconic items up for sale: a pair of John Lennon's tinted glasses, handwritten lyrics by Jimi Hendrix, and Michael Jackson's famed white fedora from his Smooth Criminal music video.
There were 3 commissioned. Kim Kardashian currently owns one, the Michael Jackson Foundation own one, and the 3rd one we are offering in auction.
More than 500 items will go under the hammer beginning tomorrow.
They should put my picture on that bottle. The whiskey that made Loren's heart unemployable.
Ethan Hawke returns to screens in the movie Blue Moon as Broadway lyricist Loren's Hart, facing addiction and inner demons. Looking on as his writing partner, Richard Rodgers, becomes part of the legendary Broadway duo Rodgers and Hammerstein.
You really don't need to know anything about Rodgers and Hart or Rodgers and Hammerstein. You don't need to know any of that, because the story is told. You understand what their dynamics are between each other. That's all that matters.
The biographical dramedy heads to theaters nationwide this Friday. That's our Eye on Entertainment. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Certainly some very interesting projects and items to possibly watch for. And now here's to Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Oh, we've got again a pretty chilly start out there. A number of us below normal, quite a few more upper 30s than what we were expecting. So a chilly night and a chilly start to this Wednesday. We're going to be a little warmer by this afternoon. Clear skies continue and rain chances building in into Thursday, late Thursday. Details on your full forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Time now, 5:18. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:20 on this Wednesday morning, and we've got another fantastic day ahead of us for our Wednesday. We're going to be a little warmer, going a bit above average into the afternoon, but thankfully the winds not as strong as what they've been the last couple of days, so that's a good thing. I know it's been pretty breezy, blowing a lot of stuff around me. I've aired the house out a bit, but at the same time, it's been a little too breezy in some cases. Now, as we head into our Thursday, overnight tonight, winds will become calm again. Thursday, winds actually will shift out of the east on us. And then as we head again, still looking about 5 o'clock or so, we're going to start to see clouds gradually increasing across the area. And that's when we'll start to see an increase in shower and thunderstorm chances. So you may remember yesterday we had that level 1 out of 5 risk that was for Thursday night into Friday morning. And it was right about here. It is gone. In fact, it's been completely removed from the area it was and has been shifted way further south. So we are just looking, we have just that light green highlight, which just means general thunderstorms. So that's all we're looking at. Now, initially, as you can see, they're isolated to widely scattered, but as we proceed overnight into Friday morning, so here we are at 2 a.m., we start seeing more of these showers and thunderstorms. And roughly about the time of the KOAM Morning News at 5 a.m. on Friday, showers, thunderstorms likely will be ongoing. Again, again, nothing at this time is expected to be severe. That threat, again, has been pushed way outside of our region. But of course, we'll monitor the storms. Mother Nature does her thing, but we're just not looking at the right ingredients for severe weather at all with this activity. Just some heavier rain is possible, so we do want to watch that. And then just some, again, scattered showers, thunderstorms. They'll last through a good portion of our Friday, and then they'll start to break up a bit. A few more isolated showers, thunderstorms by late Friday. And then as we go overnight Friday into Saturday morning, shower thunderstorm chances will pick back up again, and it'll be shower and thunderstorm chances throughout the day on Saturday as well. And I know we have the Four States Heart Walk coming up, so just make sure you got a jacket, an umbrella, you got something ready to go to be dry, because at this point it is looking to be a bit on the damp side. For this morning, clear skies, chilly temperatures. We're looking 43, so low 40s to start, low 60s by 11. But as those winds begin to shift around out of the west, we get slightly warmer air, and we'll eventually make it into the low to mid 70s out there. So again, a bit above normal. Average high is about 68, 69. So not significantly above normal, not like how we were for the first half of October, but still warmer than where we should be. Clear skies through the evening and overnight, and again, without any cloud cover, we're able to cool back down to more seasonable levels, right around the mid 40s, and winds will be calm. Now with the cloud cover and the rain chances, our overnight lows are actually going to be fairly mild the next few nights, but our daytime highs will not. Now tomorrow, ahead of any storm chances, still again low mid 70s, but with the clouds and the rain overnight, see our overnight lows, and look, even to our highs, there's not much difference from our low Thursday to the high Friday, back down to the low on Friday night. We'll have rain chances again throughout most of the day on Saturday. Cool temperatures as well, so we're talking a bit of a cool rain there, upper 50s, some low 60s, and then rain starts to gradually come to an end on our Sunday. Well, it'll be pretty decent, near normal for Monday, into the upper 60s. We get additional shower thunderstorm chances by next Tuesday that drop our temperatures once again below normal into the upper 50s, low 60s as we get closer to Halloween. So you may need to bundle up out there if you're going trick-or-treating. That is a check of your forecast. We're going to send it over to Samantha now with Health Watch.
Thanks, Chris. How antidepressants affect the body can vary widely based on which one you take. A study in The Lancet found different drugs impact a patient's heart rate, blood pressure, and weight in different ways. For example, some common antidepressants are linked to weight gain, while others are linked to weight loss. But researchers stress these findings shouldn't deter people from taking antidepressants. Important information for people who track their daily steps. A Mass General Brigham study found older women who took 4,000 steps just once or twice a week had a 27% lower risk for cardiovascular disease and a 26% lower risk of death. Notably, the health benefits were linked to how many steps were taken rather than how many days a person was active. Food allergies continue to increase overall, but peanut allergies have plummeted in children, according to a new study. Researchers say that's because recommendations have been revised. Parents are no longer being told to avoid giving babies foods that can potentially cause allergic reactions. Stephanie Stahl has more on the new study.
You could do like peanut butter with apple.
8-year-old Jack Ravner used to be allergic to peanuts.
It's a little stressful.
Mom says his allergy is gone now after being slowly exposed. New research says there are fewer children like Jake. Since 2017, peanut allergies in young children have dropped 43%.
We looked at medical records from 50 different pediatric practices in multiple states.
Dr. David Hill led the study at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia that looked at allergies to things like milk, eggs, and nuts. For decades, those were the foods parents were told to avoid giving babies. But that changed in 2015. The updated recommendation said the opposite. Babies should be exposed to tiny amounts.
What our research showed is that, in fact, providing these foods earlier is a way to train the immune system that the foods themselves are safe.
A total game changer.
Jake's mom, Dr. Lisa Ravner, is a pediatrician who's seeing a decline in kids with peanut allergies because of the revised recommendation.
And as a pediatrician, your advice to parents has changed.
Oh yeah, completely. There's a lot of education that goes into it around that this is safe to do.
Since the updated recommendation, about 60,000 children have avoided developing peanut allergies, according to the new research.
We've been able to implement what I think is one of the most important public health interventions in allergy.
Now there are a growing number of children like Jake who can enjoy foods without the worry of allergic reactions. Stephanie Stahl, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Now, doctors don't completely understand what causes food allergies, but many believe the higher rates of C-section deliveries, early childhood exposure to antibiotics, and our increasingly sanitized environments may play a role. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 5:30, the federal shutdown disrupts food assistance for 4 state families.
And we've got a pretty chilly start to the day. Temperatures, though, this afternoon a little warmer than normal. We'll have a look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, new cell phone laws in Oklahoma start this year. We'll take a look at the areas likely impacted.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:30. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's Wednesday, October the 22nd now. Happy Wednesday, halfway through this week. We're getting a little closer to Halloween. Although, again, between the stores and the commercials and all this other stuff, sometimes you'd start to think that we were like a week away from Christmas.
Yes, but it finally feels like fall.
It
so
does.
It feels like we're close to Halloween now.
It does. And it's going to be a pretty chilly Halloween is what it's looking like. So just make sure you are prepared for that, kids, the costumes. If you haven't got one yet, maybe you're waiting till the last minute. Make sure it's something that's a little bit on the warm side or something that's you can work with a coat or a jacket because it'll be chilly. That's still, we got a little over a week before that, and we'll see if things change. But for today, we are pretty darn cold to start across the region, but we're going to be warmer this afternoon than where we were yesterday afternoon. Let's start with our live look from downtown Pittsburgh, where things are calm and looking pretty good. We have clear skies this morning. That's the other benefit is our winds. After a couple of days of pretty gusty winds, they are going to stop. Our camera, 7th and range line, looking pretty good as well. MoDOT camera, 20th and range line in Joplin, also looking good. Let's take a look at that future track quickly for you. So there's not, again, the last 2 or 3 days, I promise you the future track works. It's just we haven't had anything going on, really. We had the gusty winds, so you saw the wind arrows going very quickly. But today, not the case. Still clear skies. Winds are going to be lighter out of the west. Our temperatures again be a little warmer, but this morning, I'll be honest, I figured there'd be another round of several more low 40s. There are a lot more upper 30s on this map than what I thought there would be this morning. So another cold start. Yesterday it was just Neodesha and Parsons, and Neodesha and Parsons, you both are still the colder spots on this map at 36 apiece. But there are a lot more upper 30s out here this morning than what I was expecting. We still have some low 40s. Remember, our average low is still in the upper 40s. So Monette, Cassville are a little closer to that, and Cassville is the warm spot at 46 this morning. All right, taking a look at the school day forecast here. All right, 42 when kids head out the door. Probably going to want that jacket. Thankfully not breezy, but still 42 is cold. 67 for lunch and recess. 73 when they head back home. We'll go into the upper 40s by 9, upper 60s by noon. Highs today low to mid 70s with that west breeze at 5 to 10. And we do have rain chances building in late tomorrow into the weekend. We'll go over those details with you here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. Millions of families across the country depend on SNAP benefits to put food on the table. But with the federal government shutdown still in effect, officials say those benefits may not arrive next month. KOAM's Blake Gulley explains how the change could affect families across the 4 states.
I do receive food stamps, but I do work.
As a single mom, Desiree Huber depends on federally funded programs like SNAP to help feed her growing family. She understands some people may abuse the system, but says for many the support is essential.
There's also people who genuinely need it, who actually need it to provide for their families, because those who are on Social Security, disability, and who are disabled can't go out and get jobs to be able to provide for their families. And you know, I grew up on SNAP, and I use SNAP to benefit towards my family as well, because like I said, sometimes, you know, the cost of living has went up.
In a statement to KOAM, Bailey Watts, media director for the Missouri Department of Social Services, says, "We understand how difficult this situation is for Missouri families who rely on SNAP benefits to meet their food needs. DSS encourages SNAP participants to look at the potential of stretching their October balance into November if possible. Here at Cross Lines Ministries in Joplin, families turn for help when they're in need. And with the government shutdown and SNAP benefits being paused for November, the line will likely get longer. Ozark Food Harvest is preparing for that increase.
So suddenly not having access to those benefits is going to leave a gigantic shortfall in their grocery budget. So it's incredibly important to support food banks like Ozark's Food Harvest, as well as local pantries like Crosslines Joplin right now, because they're going to see that influx of need.
State officials say they'll resume issuing SNAP benefits as soon as federal funding is restored. Reporting in Joplin, Blake Gully, KOAM News.
In Jasper County, more than 18,000 individuals use SNAP benefits. Those families are each receiving nearly $200 a month from the program. Well, starting November 1st, there will be a new law in effect in Oklahoma. The new law will have enhanced punishment for anyone seen using their cell phone in a school or construction zone. This law is designed to help drivers pay attention in these areas. Miami Police Chief says there's a primary offense and his officers will be on the lookout for phones.
Unfortunately, we see it all the time. People just aren't paying attention. They're distracted by everything that's going on in life, just like the rest of us are. They don't see the lights flashing. They don't realize it's an imposed school zone during certain times. So we work with the school resource officers here within Miami to make sure that we're doing enforcement.
Miami police say they will focus on education the first few weeks the laws takes effect. President Trump said on day 21 of the government shutdown that Republicans, quote, will not be extorted into giving in to Democrats' demands. He made the comments during a White House lunch with Senate Republicans. Erica Brown is at the White House with the latest.
At a Rose Garden lunch with Senate Republicans Tuesday, President Trump blamed Democrats for the ongoing government shutdown and made it clear his party will not budge.
From the beginning, our message has been very simple. We will not be extorted on this crazy plot of theirs.
Senate Majority Leader John Thune said Republicans were united in their refusal to negotiate with Democrats until after a funding bill is passed to reopen the government.
Everybody here has voted now 11 different times to open up the government, and we are going to keep voting to open up the government, and eventually the Democrats, hopefully sooner or later, are going to come around.
Democrats continue to hold out for extended Affordable Care Act subsidies and reversals to cuts to Medicaid.
Republicans may not have time to fix people's health care, but apparently they got plenty of time for a mini pep rally with Donald Trump.
As the stalemate drags on, some states are warning the food assistance program known as SNAP could run out of funding and recipients might not receive full benefits come November.
If SNAP is lost, it will devastate this community.
At the Capuchin Soup Kitchen in Detroit, one mother says making ends meet on federal assistance is already a challenge.
It shouldn't be that you got to go in your pocket later to get cash that's going to short your bill. Well, one bill won't get paid today, just to make sure your children and you have food.
With SNAP funding uncertain, food pantries across the country are preparing for the increased need and are urging people in a position to help to consider donating. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
House and Senate Republican leaders suggested that the current GOP measure, which would fund the government until November 21st, may need to be extended as the shutdown stretches on. Well, that's a look at our top news stories. Coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Leaf peepers embrace slow travel in the Adirondacks. Nature shapes the schedule instead of packed to-do lists. Plus, Netflix's most popular film ever gets the toy treatment as K-pop Demon Hunters racks up 325 million views. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. In Consumer Watch, OpenAI has unveiled Atlas, its new web browser that's poised to take on Google Chrome. The company says the search engine is built with ChatGPT at its core, with settings that allow the browser to remember previous chats and searches. One key feature, Agent Mode, allows the system to click through the internet for users. Atlas already launched for Mac laptop users, with versions for Microsoft, Apple iPhone, and Google Android coming soon. 9 in 10 Americans say they don't plan on waiting until they turn 70 to collect Social Security, according to a new study by investment firm Schroders. Recipients that delay receiving benefits for 3 years past the full retirement age of 67 can get a 30% bump in monthly payments. Schroders says some people decide not to delay payments if their retirement accounts are not enough to cover expenses, and also over concerns that Social Security funds may not be there if they wait. And Netflix is looking to capitalize on the success of its K-pop Demon Hunters film. The company says it has inked a licensing partnership with Mattel and Hasbro to develop toys, games, and other merchandise based on the breakout movie's characters. Netflix says K-pop Demon Hunters is its most popular film of all time, racking up 325 million views globally in just over 3 months. More travelers are taking the slow road these days. Slow travel has become a popular trend since the pandemic, as a greater number of Americans choose less busy and crowded itineraries, letting the destination shape their trip. Wendy Gillette explains in today's Travel Tuesday report.
Leaf peepers are popping up all over the Northeast this month, including at Schroon Lake in New York's Adirondack Mountains. It's one example of slow travel, when nature and an immersive experience shape the schedule, rather than packed to-do lists. The luxury travel network Virtuoso has seen the trend grow in popularity.
People are looking for that pause from their daily rush of life to absorb and soak in the beauty of the destination that they're in.
Rides on a pontoon boat, listening to live music around the fire pit, roasting marshmallows, hikes in the forest, and relaxing at the pool are some of the slow travel offerings from the lodge at Schroon Lake, where comfort food and drinks and 2-floor cabins with views calm the pace.
People are by the fire reading a book, their kids are running around and playing, and there's so much laughter and happiness.
On the West Coast, travelers can get very up close with nature at Carmel Valley Ranch's Bee Class in Monterey County, California.
There's probably about 500, 700 bees in this train.
The resort, one of those we stayed at for a special rate, offers scenic views, farm animals to observe, and a spa where products are made with lavender grown on site.
We give guests a number of options to really unwind, slow down their pace.
But nothing spells slow travel quite like the ocean. The Sanctuary Beach Resort here in nearby Marina has rooms overlooking the dunes and Pacific.
There are steps from cauldrons lit up every night at sunset. Relaxed activities include beach walks and oyster shell decorating. Nearby, gourmet restaurants like Chez Noir and Carmel utilize local ingredients for leisurely meals.
They call it the salad bowl of America. So, most of the artichokes that are grown in America and the garlic are from right, 15 minutes up the road.
You can browse all that bounty at local farm markets or drop into some wineries for more contemplative time spent only as you wish. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
Virtuoso says slow tourism can also mean avoiding overcrowded destinations and longer stays. Well, that's it for Consumer Watch. Now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got another pretty decent start out there. It's a bit on the cold side for some locations, though. We will be a little warmer heading into the afternoon. We're going to break down the details, talk about how much warmer it's going to be, and our rain chances that are building in as we head into the upcoming weekend when the KOAM Morning News returns. Time now is coming up on 5:45. We'll be right back.
We appear to have moved past the halfway point when it comes to corn harvest. An update in today's Ag Day Minute.
I'm Michelle Sherber with today's Ag Day Minute. How is harvest progressing? USDA is still unable to provide a harvest report due to the government shutdown. So Reuters conducted its own poll. Their analysts believe 59% of the U.S. corn crop has been harvested as of Sunday. Farm Journal's recent survey found 43% of the corn harvest has wrapped up. For soybeans, Reuters said 73% of the crop had been combined, while Farm Journal's numbers found 79% of the soybean harvest was complete as of the middle of last week. Food aid is starting to arrive in Gaza. Humanitarian aid trucks were spotted moving through a border crossing. However, Gaza's media office claims that a total of 6,600 trucks were supposed to have entered the area by Monday, and it says only about 900 trucks have brought aid. The arrival of the trucks follows the ceasefire deal reached between Israel and Hamas. And the winners of the annual World Food Championships have been announced. Over 400 teams competed, but only 10 could walk away with titles from the food sports event held in Indianapolis. The World Bacon Championship went to Daniel McDonald of Franklin, Indiana. The World Barbecue Champ was Al Lindo of Rio Hondo in Texas. The World Burger Championship was Dave Elliott of Olathe, Kansas. For more Ag News, watch Ag Day weekdays on this station or get updates at agweb.com.
Now let's take it over to Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, it's cold in some locations. As we talked yesterday, I knew we were going to drop into the low 40s, but I kind of figured there'd be more low 40s than upper 30s. And we've had quite a few upper 30s out there this morning. Yesterday, it was just Parsons and Neodesha, and this morning, Parsons and Neodesha are also still the coldest spots out there, but there are a lot more upper 30s than what I was expecting. So make sure you have a nice jacket as you're heading out this morning, because it's a bit cold, but make sure that jacket is easy to put away if you're sending the kids to school. Make sure it's something that fits in their backpack, whatever the case may be, because it will warm up. And we're actually going to be just a little bit above normal. Thankfully, not well above average like we spent the first portion of this month, but it will be a little warmer today. Still clear skies and not as windy either, which is kind of a nice break from all that. We'll have west winds at about 5 to 10. Winds will be calm overnight tonight, and then on our Thursday, they'll shift out of the east. Still, the majority of the day is clear and mild. We'll be above average again. But as we get a little later into the day, say after 3, 4, 5 in that zone, we'll start to see clouds increasing across the area. And once we get past 10 o'clock, that's when we'll start to see shower thunderstorm chances gradually increase as well. Now, yesterday we had that level 1 out of 5 risk that was roughly, I'm doing a poor outline, but it was roughly right here. It's gone. It's actually been shifted way far south. The entire area it covered is no longer in that risk. It's been moved much further south. We are in that light green color though for tomorrow night and Friday for just general thunderstorms. No severe weather is expected at this point. But as we go into the early morning hours on Friday, showers and thunderstorms will begin to increase in coverage. So as we start Friday, it is going to be a bit of a wet start, and again, maybe some thunderstorms out there. So remember, just watch out for that lightning when thunder roars. Head indoors, and I know we'll be starting our day, so you're heading outdoors. Just make sure you're being safe. Again, no concerns for severe weather at this point, but some of these storms throughout the day on Friday could produce some heavy rain, so we want to keep an eye on that as well. We're not overly concerned right now about flash flooding, but it is something we want to watch as we get closer, because some of these storms through the day could dump quite a bit of rain in a short amount of time. As we head into Friday afternoon and evening, we start transitioning back, at least for a little bit, to more isolated to widely scattered showers, few rumbles of thunder, and then overnight Friday into Saturday, our rain chances will increase again. So that's the other thing. I know the 4 States Heart Walk is coming up this Friday. We also have the Missouri Southern Homecoming Parade this Friday. We want to make sure that you have umbrellas or jackets, because, while again, we're not looking at severe weather, nothing like what we saw for Maple Leaf last week, we are still looking at showers and a few thunderstorms. So just make sure you are prepared. And also just keep an eye out in case any of these events are moved. We haven't heard anything. Just want to emphasize that too. I haven't heard anything, but just be aware as we head into the weekend. But between here and there, not bad. A little chilly to start. Low 40s out there, low 60s by 11 o'clock this morning. Into the afternoon we go, low to mid 70s. So that's what I'm saying. We're above normal, not by a lot, but we are warmer. West winds 5 to 10. Clear skies through the evening and into the overnight, so we'll be pretty seasonable for our temperatures tonight, right around the mid 40s. And again, low 70s for our Thursday. And because of the clouds and the rain, that will lead to some mild overnights, because it'll trap in some of that warmer air. And take a look, our temperatures from Thursday night to Friday night, not a lot of change here. And then Saturday, Sunday, showers, few rumbles of thunder possible, upper 50s, low 60s. Rain gradually coming to an end on Sunday, and we're back near normal on Monday. Then a few more showers and storms Tuesday, and we'll begin to drop back down below average, upper 50s, low 60s, heading toward Halloween. That's Check Your Forecast. We'll be back with more right after this.
Sanae Takaichi made history Tuesday, formally appointed by Emperor Naruhito as Japan's first female prime minister. Takaichi, a close ally of former leader Shinzo Abe, vowed to revive Japan's economy with government stimulus, while her new cabinet includes only 2 women, Satsuki Katayama and the nation's first finance minister, and Kimi Onoda as economic security minister. The new government also features Shinjiro Koizumi as defense minister and Toshimitsu Motegi as foreign minister. Compassion takes center stage at the Carthage Technical Center yesterday. FCCLA members are creating handmade hearts and care baskets for families with babies in the NICU at Mercy and Freeman hospitals. The Passion Project reminds parents their Carthage community stands with them during their difficult times.
And it is a bit of a cold start out there this morning, so make sure you do have a jacket. But again, make sure that jacket's something you can easily put away later because we will warm up. Low 40s by 8, low 60s by 11. Clear skies and winds not as gusty. We'll make the low to mid 70s today with that west breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Into the evening, clear skies continue as they do overnight as well. Winds expected to be calm, and of course without any cloud cover, we're back near normal, about the mid 40s tonight. Over the next few days, our overnight lows are going to be a bit more mild because we have rain chances increasing tomorrow night, and that locks in some of that warm air. We'll go low 70s tomorrow, and then after 10 tomorrow night, showers, thunderstorms begin moving in. No severe weather expected at this point. In fact, that little severe risk we had has been removed. But shower storms throughout the day Friday. Some of them could produce some heavy rain, so something we want to keep an eye on. They also keep us cool. Again, Heart Walk, Missouri Southern Homecoming Parade, a number of other things happening again this weekend, and those rain chances are there. Now, nothing severe expected like what we saw last Saturday, but still, just make sure you're prepared for some showers and storms and much cooler weather. Brief warm-up Monday, back to normal, and then cooling down toward Halloween. That's Check Your Forecast. Got another hour of the KOAM Morning News up next.